Algeria, Religious Influence on Politics by belair2012pol242y1. The research in this presentation was designed in order to determine the most important factor in predicting respondent support for the separation of religion and politics. The data set used was the Arab Barometer Public Opinion Survey conducted in a number of Middle Eastern countries. This research focuses on the findings only from Algeria, which has an N of 1300. The tests that will be conducted to answer the research question include reliability and cross-tabulation analysis, along with chi-squared and ANOVA. Howard's academic literature situating the secular, negotiating the boundary between religion and politics inspired the research in this presentation. The literature explores the current role of religion in the Middle East, examines attempts at secularism and the issues that arise from democratic policies. The goal of this research is to add to this literature by finding variables that can better predict views on secularism in the Middle East. Our dependent variable is an index comprised of 4 variables, measuring respondents' views on religious influence in voting, religious leaders in office, religious influence over government decisions, and religious separation from socioeconomics. The approach to the research is to measure the dependent variable y against independent variables x. x1 is education, with the hypothesis that education is positively correlated with religious and political separation. x2 is the view on how well democracies maintain order, with the hypothesis that it is positively correlated with religious and political separation. And x3 is the view on the acceptance of women in politics, with the hypothesis it is positively correlated with religious and political separation. First, a reliability analysis was conducted on the dependent variable to make sure all the 4 indicators were measuring the same concept. The alpha score of 0.6658 and standardized alpha of 0.6692 tell us that all variables are measuring the concept we intended, as they are well above the 0.60 threshold. A high score would indicate that the respondent supports the separation of religion and politics, and a low score would tell us that the respondent supports religious influence in politics. After cross-tabulating education with views on religious separation from politics, it is clear that there is no relationship. By observing the highlighted cells in the crosstab, we see no figures stand out, a majority of which are around 30%. A tau c value of 0.00472 supports this observation, being well below what is acceptable. Chi-squared gives us a p-value of 0.16705, indicating the relationship is not significant and could be due to a sampling error. After cross-tabulating respondents' view on democracy's ability to maintain order against religion and politics, we see some relation. The highlighted cells indicate an observable positive relationship, being of higher percentage than the other cells consistently through the diagonal. Tau c validates this visible relation with a score of 0.1. However, it is not a strong relationship as it is below the 0.20 threshold. Chi-squared gives us a p-value of 0.00010, which means the results are significant and not due to a sampling error. After cross-tabulating respondents' view on women in politics with the separation of religion and politics, we see a clear relationship. The highlighted cells show a strong positive relationship as the percentages are much higher through the diagonal than in other cells. Tau c gives us a value of 0.30, validating this result, indicating a strong relationship. The chi-square p-value is 0.00000, telling us this relationship is strong and also not due to chance at all.